are listening to the Cowboy Cut. You might be wondering, Liv, why are you wearing that amazing Luke Bryan top? Well, it is because today I am joined by Malia Francis, a.k.a. Luke Bryan's other wife, a.k.a. the Luke Bryan Nation, on Instagram and TikTok. The California-born ranch hand turned Nashville content creator is here with me today to talk about her 200 million views that she has racked up across her platforms and capturing the attention of Luke himself. She's zooming in from Nashville now. Let's answer the call. All right. Hey, Malia, how are we going?
Oh, we're doing so good.
So good. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Everyone, this is Malia, aka Luke Bryan Nation on Instagram. How have you been going today?
Oh, it's been such a good day here in Nashville. It's been 70 degrees. The weather's perfect. Hearing country music everywhere. Yeah, I'm in heaven.
Honestly, you can't ask for anything more than that. That sounds like the ideal day.
Oh my gosh, I love Nashville. It's the best place ever.
I'm going to be going to Nashville in November. We got to link up.
We have to. You have a friend. Come and see me. We'll hang. I'll show you all the spots. We'll go to Luke's.
I fucking love Luke's. I was at Luke's a year ago, almost, or maybe it was 2 years ago. Holy cow! For the first time ever, and I was looking around. I was like, this is heaven. This is heaven on earth.
It really is. Just country music all up and down Broadway, everywhere. It's everywhere. Like the Taco Bell has music. It's like live music. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, good. Well, sounds like an amazing day, and I'm glad you're here. I wanted to talk about a little bit of like who you are, what you are within the country music world. You have a little bit of viral success on Instagram. We have you meeting Luke Bryan as well. We got some insights into the fandom and country music in general. And before we start off, I just wanted to do like a quick little icebreaker. If you could title your life right now with a Luke Bryan song, which one would it be?
Right now, it would probably have to be I'll Stay Me, which was like it was the title track off of his first album. And it was just such a cute little song about staying true to yourself. And as I'm new to Nashville, it's very important that I do that and that I make sure that I stay true to myself. So I'll stay me.
I love that. Oh, what a good answer. Thank you so much for that. I wanted to talk about a little bit like who you are and growing up, because you say you're living in Nashville now, but you're not originally from Nashville. You grew up in California. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell me.
I grew up in California. My family was from San Jose, and we had a skateboard and surf shop growing up. And so I grew up on the coast. I mean, my family was on a boat every weekend, skateboard parks everywhere. Nothing to do with country music at all.
Mm.
So that was my world until I was about 11, and then I started volunteering on a ranch, like
Mm.
when I had weekends available, I'd go there. That eventually turned into me like pursuing horse training and becoming homeschooled for high school, and then training a wild Mustang, which I believe in Australia they're actually called Brumbies, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. But the wild horses, yeah, so I trained a wild horse, and when I was 18, I left the ranch and I kind of just hung out at home, and I really focused on this Luke Bryan Nation, which at the time was called Luke Bryan's Other Wife.
Mhm.
And I changed the name when I moved to Nashville. But yeah, I really focused on that and learning how to make videos go viral, and wanting to show people Luke Bryan and who he was as a person and not just his music.
Yeah.
So now I moved to Nashville to really, kind of pursue that and meet people and connect with people in the industry.
Oh, absolutely. And you're doing a great job so far, evidently, from your success. I am sure you people at home have definitely seen your my favorite of your viral videos, the Luke Bryan mentality one. I it's so funny. I do everything I can to channel that energy. Every time I order a margarita, I just kind of sit back. I'm like, oh, he would be so proud right now. It's so
Oh my
good.
gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's a gem.
it's it's really been so interesting to hear stories that people have in the comments on Luke Bryan. They'll be like, I worked at like a golf course one time, and Luke Bryan rolled up drunk driving a golf cart, and he almost tipped it over, and he forgot about his wife, and his wife was like running behind him as he's driving off in the golf cart.
Oh my
Like,
God.
can't make it up. And then another one's like, yeah, I saw Luke Bryan streaking in Maine in like 2008. I'm like,
Because where else would
like
he
it
be?
just it it keeps exactly. It just keeps coming. You never know. He's such a character.
He,
And he's so much fun to make edits of.
yeah, just endless content out there for him. Hey. Oh,
Yeah.
he's
Oh my gosh.
well, I remember hearing that you kind of got into him at around him in particular in about 2020 when you heard, was it One Margarita? Was that the one?
It was One Margarita. It was 2020. I was picking up my sister from camp, and
Hmm.
I like the radio guy just said, "Hey, here's like I think they just played 6 Feet Apart by Luke Combs." And then
Hmm.
they were like, "And here's Luke Bryan's latest single, One Margarita." And I just remember thinking, who in the hell releases a song about drinking and partying in Mexico when there is a global pandemic going on? Like he was just tone deaf to the whole
He didn't
situation.
give a fuck.
Like Thomas Rhett had like Be a Light that came out and
Yes.
just kept releasing party songs. Like he did not stop.
But
And
that's
I
what we
was like,
needed.
who is
That's
this guy?
who is he? He's the hero we need.
Who is this character? Yeah, and so I just researched like who's Luke Bryan.
Hmm.
And yeah, and then I just kind of went down a deep dive. Because before Luke, I mean, the only country I listened to was 80s and 90s, like straight
Hmm.
Clint Black, Alan Jack, all those guys, Black Hawk, you know.
Yeah.
And so Luke was just such like a jump in the other direction.
Mhm.
But his personality really just stuck with me. And
Yeah.
it was super,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But
I love that. I didn't even think about the timing of it in 2020. Like, of course, everyone's like, moment of silence. And Luke's just like, I'm drunk on a boat. It's so
I'm
funny.
drunk on a boat. Yeah. Hair of the dog. Exactly. Yeah. But then, and then like I had some personal things happen in during COVID too, like my parents divorced and I was just going through a hard time.
Absolutely.
And I really watched these videos of Luke Bryan just cutting up on stage, having fun, seeing LBTV, which was like this vlogging series he did from like 2006 to 2017.
Mhm.
And it just like gave me someone to lean on when I felt like I was alone in life. And that's what I really wanted to project in my account when I was 18 was just how can I make people smile? How can I make them laugh? Because that's what Luke does on stage is he completely personifies just loving your life and just being in the moment. You don't go to a Luke Bryan show expecting the best vocals. He's not a Celine Dion. He's an
Yeah.
entertainer.
Yes. Yeah.
And I wanted to bottle that up and put it in little TikToks and make
Yeah.
it, digestible for people, our ages.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so that was really my drive was I was somebody who really needed to be lifted up every day. And I was like, if I had this account when I was going through this, oh my gosh, I would be a completely different person.
Absolutely. And I think his character, like you're saying, like embodies that sense of just like living in the moment and having a good time. And I feel like we all need like sprinkles of that in our lives. Absolutely. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you read about I get messages from people that just say thank you for sharing this stuff because he's really helped me get through this. And I don't think that Luke necessarily knows how much he touches people just with his personality per
mm,
se. I think he thinks that he touches people through his story and telling about how he lost both of his siblings and his stepbrother and how he took in his nephew and nieces. But I think that he's seen more and more how much it affects people. And I also think that he's kind of hammed it up a little more than he has in the past. Like I think that he's more intentionally unhinged because he sees the TikTok stuff and he has
of
fun
course.
with it. Yeah, of course, naturally.
Naturally,
Yeah.
as he should as well. You're saying that before Luke, the only country you really listened to was about the 80s and 90s era. Besides that, what was your music taste like before you discovered the gem that is Luke Bryan?
Oh man. I listened to a lot of yacht rock growing up. Have
Yeah.
you heard the term yacht rock? Like Hall and Oates, like
Mm.
Doobie Brothers. Like that's what I grew up like kind of around my grandpa a lot, and that's what he listened to all the time. So I
Yeah.
would say that, and Alan Jackson, and then my dad had like kind of like I don't know, 80s 90s hip hop like LL Cool J, so that was always around. What else? Yeah, and then just kind of like skater tunes. Like what's the band? It's like Walking on a Dream, you know that song?
Mm-hmm.
Walking on a Dream. Yeah, like we'd play that stuff. But other than that, I was never that into music until I picked up guitar,
Mm.
which kind of another story, which is I just keep going on little tangents here. Yeah, so I picked up guitar around the time that I was like 13. And when I say that, people are like, oh, so Luke Bryan inspired you to play guitar. And I'm like, no.
Mm.
Can you get, I want you to guess who inspired me to play guitar. Not, he's an actor.
An actor. Okay. Does he play guitar like IRL or like in a movie?
IRL. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. See, here's the
He's a
thing. I don't
very popular actor.
Okay, I'm cooking. Um actor. Uh I don't know. Does Timothy Chalamet play guitar?
No, he doesn't. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he did that
I don't
movie,
know.
so maybe he does now.
He can do anything, I feel like. Yeah.
Anything. It
I have
was it was Adam Sandler.
You're kidding. Who is
Adam Sandler.
literally Luke Bryan as an actor? Like if they swap worlds,
Exactly.
I see
He's
it.
like, they're literally the same person, I swear to you, sometimes. Like, Adam Sandler makes a living off of going on vacation with all of his friends, and
Mhm.
Luke Bryan just makes a living getting drunk on stage and having a blast with all of his friends on tour. Like, it's
Yes.
the same, it's a parallel.
Same guy.
But,
I
anyways,
love
Adam Sandler, yeah. And then, so once I started playing guitar, I got into music and really started kind of figuring out what I liked to listen to.
So you became a fan in 2020 and then you created your account in 2022, is that right?
That's
2022?
correct. Yeah. I went to my first Luke concert when I was 16 in 2021, and I held up a sign that said, I wrote you a song. Can I sing it? And he
Oh.
didn't pull me up on stage to sing it, obviously. I was 16 years old. He didn't know if I could play, sing, whatever. But I wrote him this song that just told him like exactly what I was going through in life and how much he helped me. And from then on, I was kind of like on this mission to meet him and like
Mhm.
let him know like how much he meant to me. And so I tried again in 2022 at another concert, failed. He didn't bring me up on stage. And then after that, I was like, I have to get to Luke in a different way. And so
Yeah.
I was like, how can I create something so big that Luke can't ignore it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to build a fan base because
Mhm.
Luke didn't have a really big fandom online. Luke's audience was mainly, 45-year-old women at the time. Um, and so I was like, I'll build it. I'll
Yeah.
figure out how to do that. I'll build it. Um, and so I did. I
Mhm.
started it like maybe a month after I turned 18.
Mhm.
And yeah, since then, Luke Bryan has followed the account. I think it
Mhm.
has 230,000 followers,
Mhm.
and it's the leading Luke Bryan fan page,
That is
which is so
so
cool to say.
exciting. That is so cool. When you originally created it, what prompted you to name it Luke Bryan's other wife?
So I had a big old crush on Luke Bryan when I was 16 years old, and I was a little bit jealous of his wife, I'm not gonna lie. And everyone always called me Luke Bryan's wife because I loved him so much. And I was like, well, Luke Bryan already has a wife. Why don't I
Um,
just call it Luke Bryan's other wife?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I kept that name until Nashville because it had so much recognition. And then I moved to Nashville and I would like tell people, I'm like, yeah, I run Luke Bryan's other wife. And they were like, oh, that's nice. And they would just kind of like back away from me because they thought I was crazy. So I changed it to Luke Bryan Nation because it's a little more official. So
Yeah.
we're Luke Bryan Nation now. We're real
I love
official,
I love that. Bit more
professional.
palatable for the corporate world.
It looks better. It looks better on the resume. We'll just say that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I really do respect that. When you got your first viral video just a couple months after starting, what was that like?
It was it was really surreal for me. I thought that Luke Bryan was gonna reach out and be like, I gotta meet you. You made this video viral of me. He didn't. It took a little longer. But it was cool. It I don't exactly remember like what I was thinking other than holy crap, I can't believe I made that happen. Let's
Mhm,
duplicate it and do it again.
mhm.
But I remember that I had a lot of goals that I set for myself when I started the account. I wanted to hit 10,000 followers. I wanted to get a video with 1 million views. I wanted Luke Bryan to like a video. I wanted Luke Bryan to follow me. And I wanted a video to hit 1 million likes. And I've
Yeah.
done all of those.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's just like I have notebooks of my goals with this account and just check boxes that I've checked off and so many ideas with videos that I've written and I don't know, it's just really cool to look at those and see at 18. And keep in mind, I didn't get social media at all until 17. Like
Wow.
I had maybe a year between like setting up my personal Instagram account to getting a viral video on TikTok, and I had no one to really guide me with to guide me with it. But so it was a lot of I had a lot of pride doing that.
Yeah. And as you should. That's really, I didn't know that it was only a year after you even set foot on the like Instagram at all. Like that's really impressive.
It was yeah, it was really early. Yeah, but I think the first video was something like it was called like Luke Bryan like his worst hunting moments or something, and it got like 1 million views. I was like, I
Holy
think
cow.
it featured like Izzy Down or something. Like that was the first clip, the
Yeah.
Izzy Down, and that always gets traction. Like that's gonna go viral no matter what.
Oh,
So it was a
genuine
little cheap shot on my end, but hey, it gave me confidence.
works. It works. Hey, if it works, hey, don't fix it if it ain't broke. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is so fun. So, of course, you mentioned a moment ago that you had been to a handful of his concerts before you decided to commit to starting this account. In total, across your life, how many Luke Bryan concerts or festivals or gigs have you been to?
I believe it's 6.
Good
I think
number.
I've been to 5 concerts and then the pop-up show that I saw him at. If you include Idol, like going to an American Idol taping, 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
But in the grand scheme of things, not that many.
Mm.
Um, there are a lot of Luke Bryan fans who have gone to like 50 in like the last couple years, and I just think it's so cool. But also, I would like be so overwhelmed with being around that many people all the time, like having to wait in the lines. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and so
Um,
expensive. It really adds up, you know? Like, especially if you're
oh
traveling.
yeah, Luke, he's not cheap. Luke Bryan is
No,
not cheap.
no, not at
He's,
all.
but
I love
yeah,
that you
it's
went to the American Idol tapings in Australia. In the Voice Australia does the same thing where you can go to the tapings of the Voice Australia. And I would go for Keith Urban. I'd be like, "Hi, Keith, how
I
are you?"
love Keith. I've heard he's just the sweetest human being, Keith Urban.
He in the very minimal encounters that I've had with him, he has just been so lovely, like such a gem. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
but
heard
go.
that him and Luke are like neck and
But
neck, being the nicest people.
oh, that's so good. I love that for us. I love the concept that you can just go to the tapings of these shows and just like watch it. It's so strange, like having like you sit, at least I'm speaking from my experience, like you sit there for 8 hours or whatever, however long the taping is, and like maybe six artists go on stage, and like those 6 hours, there's so much in between that of course they just cut out, but you're like,
Yeah,
oh my God, there's so much in between. Yeah.
there is. Yeah. What's funny about Idol, they keep you pretty entertained. Like they have a guy who's like hyping everyone up in between. What's funny
Mm,
with Idol is that Luke talks a lot. Luke is a
yeah.
big talker, he's an extrovert. And so when he's judging these kids, he's sitting at his desk and he's, telling him, giving advice, and they would cue the music as he's like halfway in the sentence because he's just gone on for too long. And it would happen probably 5 times every taping. Like they just cut him off. I think he got booed once when I was there. It's like, all right, Luke.
Oh my
like
God.
in
Hey,
like in
hey,
8 years of Idol, he hasn't learned how to wrap it up. But hey, that's Luke.
that's Luke. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I love that so much. So you've been to all of these shows, these tapings and whatnot, and then um I know there came a moment when you finally got to meet Luke. I want to hear how that opportunity came about.
I did. So I was in Nashville for CMA Fest, and I wanted to go to Luke Bryan's bar. It was probably 4 o'clock on, a Friday. And I went to the rooftop, and it's only 21 and up there. And I was 19 at the time. And so I flashed them that Luke Bryan follows me on TikTok, and I got in. And so yeah. And there was a band playing, and like the band was great, and I was in the front. And then all of a sudden, like the band just kind of like left like halfway through their set, and I see this guy bring on a guitar that has the Buck Commander logo in it. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm looking around, no one else is noticing. I'm like, that's Luke Bryan's guitar.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
5 minutes, yeah, and then security kind of like starts to surround the stage, and I'm like, holy shit. And five
Happening.
minutes later, I hear people cheering in the back, and like it just gets louder and louder. It's like Beatlemania, and Luke Bryan comes walking through. All I can see is like the top of his hat, and I was freaking out. I was like, what are the chances of this happening? So Luke gets
God.
on stage, he does a song or two,
Yeah.
and he did a song, Love You, Miss You, Mean It. And like halfway through the song, he looks at me and he points at me, and he's like smiles and his eyes light up, and he points at me in the crowd as he's singing and strumming along. And I'm like, Luke Bryan just pointed at me. That's insane. And then he continues, he does like two more songs, and then he wraps up the set. And he comes to the front of the stage and he signs people's stuff. And he looks at me and he goes, I know you. I got to get a picture with you. I was
Oh,
like, what do you, what? He pointed to me and was like, I got to get a picture with you. And so he told his security guard, he
mhm.
pointed to me, his security guard was like, let her up on stage. And so I was like escorted through the crowd up on stage. And like before I could even register what was going on, I was walking up the steps, and Luke Bryan, all 6'2" of him, is just like right there in my face. And he's like, so how are you doing? I'm like, how the fuck
Uh,
do you know who I am?
I love
Like,
that he
what
was
do
the
you
fan and you were
mean?
the celebrity. Like that's so funny in that moment.
It was insane. I was like looking back on the footage, I'm like, I genuinely don't know who met who here. He was so excited. I was like, but it proves that he's lurking. So we got like a selfie, and like in this footage that I have, like he's taking a selfie, and I'm like getting in the photo, and he's like looking in the background. He's like, I don't like the background. So he like moves to the front, totally just
You
so
really did.
conscientious of like the backdrop and how everything looks. But yeah, it was probably maybe a minute or two total. Like I didn't get to talk to him, but we got like a video of us meeting and shaking his hand and a side hug. But it
Yeah.
was it was really cool. So I still really want to have a conversation with him, that
Mm.
isn't so insane with people around everywhere. But I think that'll happen one day. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I feel like it's in the
But
cards. After you met him, did it of course it was very exciting and amazing content to post about on your account, but was there any way that it reshaped how you went about managing your account and like changing the content? Was like that in real life experience of like actually meeting your hero, some like how did it influence the account moving forward?
yeah, I think that it made me feel more personally connected to Luke, and so I backed off on posting some things that I would have posted. Because
Sure.
obviously I love to make fun of Luke, and that was the forefront before meeting him, was like that's how I go viral, is I make fun of Luke. And after
Yeah.
meeting him, I was like, he's just a guy. Like maybe I need to back off on a couple things, make it less offensive.
Mm,
But after that, like he would see the posts and he would like them, and I was just like, that feels better, that I'm uplifting him more than I was before. It's
yeah.
just like go to a Bryan show because he's really, really funny. And before I feel like it was more, this is Luke Bryan being dumb.
Mm.
So I made my content nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like once you meet people in real life, you're like, oh my God, like you're a real person. Like, of course you're a real person, but like, oh my God, you're a real person. And then it's like with feelings and all of these things, of course, but like when you actually meet them in real life, it's like, oh wow, hey, you're real. Yeah.
You're real. Like when you shake somebody's hand, I don't know why, but like we put celebrities on like this pedestal, like their hand's gonna feel different
Mm,
than a regular person. You shake his hand, it's like you're just a regular dude. You just,
so crazy how
make a lot
that.
of money and have 35 number one songs, but you're just a regular dude.
Just a regular guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really interesting. I kind of wanted to talk about, in addition to your really fun stories about meeting him, I kind of want to talk about your opinions on his music and like his latest album and his latest tour. I want to know kind of like what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on his newer stuff?
So his latest album is Mind of a Country Boy, and that came out last year, I believe, maybe September. I liked it a lot, but it was a different kind of Luke than we'd ever seen. It was really a sister album to Born Here, Live Here, Die Here, which was the album before that. And I mean, I'm calling it dad country, which is
Okay.
kind of what like Luke Combs has transitioned into also. And maybe even like a Tyler Hubbard, but just like these guys that were singing about pretty girls in 2013, 15, 16, whenever their peak was, they're now dads. And they're singing about their boys growing up and what it's been like to be a father. Um, and I really like it for Luke. Like I think it's a great transition. But I think that it's kind of his fans don't know what to think of it per se. Like they're when they think Luke Bryan, they just think Country Girl Shake It For Me. And they're not gonna listen to a song like Jesus Saves, um, and think of it differently. So I think that it was a great album. I think it took too long to put out. Because I think
Mhm.
it was maybe 4 years between
Yeah.
Born Here, Live Here.
Yeah.
Um, but they had some great songs. But again, it wasn't a lot of songs. It was 10 or 12. And
Yeah.
people are, I mean, with Morgan Wallen, people are expecting 34 songs.
Yeah, which
Like
is
they're
a new
expecting
thing.
so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
Uh,
I'm a big fan of his pivoting point. And you can see it in the tour too. He's backing off on shaking it so much, and his pants are getting looser. He's wearing a more bootcut jean, which I appreciate.
yes. Yeah,
Um, yeah,
absolutely. Time to
but
ditch
he's
the
still
skin.
cutting up for sure. Yeah, ditching the skinny jeans.
That's enough of that. I've had enough.
Yeah,
All right.
they worked in 2013, but
Yeah, a little bit less so currently, I would say. It's so interesting that you recognize his newer album as Dad Country because that is so true, and especially referencing like Luke Combs, for example, that newer album, his newest album about is it Fathers and Sons? I think it's literally just called Fathers and Sons, and like that
I
whole
think it
era.
is.
Yeah, it's so interesting how I feel like for Luke in particular, how because his heyday was like 2014 Bro Country era, and I love that for him absolutely. And it's so interesting to watch because there was Bro Country, and then there was Boyfriend Country, and now there's Dad Country. So it's almost like our boy's growing up, like he's evolving.
I
It's
know.
yeah. I love that. Well, I'm assuming his newest album is not your favorite album, so I'm gonna ask you which of Luke's is your favorite album.
My favorite is Tailgates and Tan
Yeah,
Lines.
as it should be, as it should
It's
be.
it's such a good album. I mean, it has so many good singles and the deep cuts are so good. Like that album really just put him into superstar. Like
Yeah,
like Doing My Thing and I'll Stay Me just didn't do it. Tailgates and Tan Lines was the album.
yeah.
Probably one of my favorite albums of all time, easily.
Yeah, it's so fun. It for me, it has such a sense of nostalgia because the whole reason I got into country was because it was playing on the radio in like that from like 2012 to since then. And so that's when he was blowing up. That's when he had his very first hits. And so he was here, like in my face all the time. And he, like that era, like is such a nostalgic era for me. And I think
Yeah.
that type of music and like what he talks about is nostalgic in itself. And so it was just this big ball of nostalgia. And I just love that album so, so much.
It was so good. And I was never I think I was a little too young to be around for the Luke Bryan heyday. And I'm such a new fan. Like I didn't have that nostalgia with Luke Bryan like maybe you did.
Hmm.
So people will compare Luke Bryan to like a Riley Green and they'll be like, Luke Bryan is the Riley Green. I mean, he
Hmm.
was the Riley Green, of that
Back in the
time.
day. Yeah.
Exactly. Like he was everywhere. You couldn't get away from him, and people just adored him. They still
Yeah.
do, but it was
Yeah.
like people worshiped him.
He was like the heartthrob of like that time. Yeah.
He really was. I mean, he had those thighs. I mean, he looked good in the skinny jeans. I'm not gonna lie. Like some
So
people
right.
tried to pull off the skinny jeans. They couldn't do it like Luke Bryan could.
No, I respect that. And I think he's brave. I think he's a brave soldier for that one.
Absolutely. I mean, they were probably jeggings. Like, there's no way they were actual denim.
They were polyester as hell. Yeah.
Like, there's no way. They were stretchy, like maybe even leggings. I'm not.
They had it, they were printed on. Like there's
They were
that's so
painted on jeans. Like,
I
just
believe it.
screaming.
That is so funny, dude. Oh my word. Ugh. Including his music. You've been to multiple of his shows, multiple of his tours. Was there a favorite tour or show of yours that was just either for was a great content farm for your account, but also great experience for you?
I would have to say I went to a VIP show before, so it's like the pre-acoustic show that Luke does, and
Mm.
those are they're intimate with the fans and they're cool, and if you shout something out, Luke Bryan's gonna hear it. And so just hearing him banter is always fun. But I did go to Farm Tour in May in California, and it was such an experience. It was Luke had a great time. He loves performing in the middle of a freaking field to like 30,000 people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was chaotic because it was all GA, but it
Mm.
was cool to see Luke in a different light, like really more in his element than in amphitheater. Like I don't know how to explain it, but he felt more at home, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
of
Like he
course.
felt more comfortable.
Yeah. That is so cool because that whole tour it was just like that, right? Like
Um, yeah, so he did 3 dates before his actual country song came on tour.
yeah.
And those 3 dates were just in fields, and that's what he
Yeah.
does is farm tour.
Yeah.
But the whole country song came on tour. Those are all amphitheaters and arenas and maybe stadiums. I'm not even sure. But yeah. And I think he has a couple more farm tour dates after, like in October. Um, but he's always excited for those. He has really bad allergies though.
Oh,
So he was like kind of dying in California because it was so dry and so dusty.
yeah, I
But
can imagine. But he does it for the fans. He does it for the fans.
he does it for the fans. He powered through for us. Um,
Oh.
Also, so I have a buddy who's like in the industry. He knows how much Luke Bryan makes a show. He makes $1 million every show.
Damn!
I did not know that. Like
Damn!
I felt so bad and I was like, Austin, like he was just powering through, like he was sick and his lungs weren't doing well, and he's like, Luke Bryan's making $1 million. He can
Yeah.
power through it. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Dude, I
You're
gotta
right.
start wearing skinny jeans. I feel like that's the pipeline to $1 million every day. All right, write that
Just
down.
shaking it. Hey, it sells tickets.
It
That's what he
does.
says. Whatever sells the tickets,
See,
man.
he knows his audience, and I think that's very admirable.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you? We of course we all have our unique experiences as individual fans, but as far as like Luke Bryan's discography, like overall, like a more general comment, what do you think like his role is like in the industry? Like how do you think he impacts fans the most?
I think that he's impact fans as an entertainer more than with songs or songwriting or anything like that. I think that he's an entertainer that people haven't seen in a long time. Like I think he brought entertainment back. Like I'll be bold enough to say it. I think that him and Taylor Swift have like really like impacted country music
Yeah.
like that. Especially like I feel like there was kind of a dry spell between Garth Brooks kind of in the 90s and 2010 where people just weren't entertaining.
Yeah.
Kenny Chesney was um but I feel like he's just a really entertaining person. And
Yeah.
and he's capitalized on that more and more as he's gotten older, which I think is cool because I feel like it's usually the opposite. Like the older artists get, the less excited they are to perform, the less energy they have. And with Luke, it's like he's just getting more excited.
More and
Like he's
more.
just more and more pumped up. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do agree with you in saying that Luke Bryan had a big hand in bringing entertainment back to country music in particular, because a lot of it is like, or at the time was just guy, like a guitar stand, like microphone stand, like everything static, which is great in its own right. But I feel like Luke Bryan's come up in this time where it was more of a show, and the lights were flashier and all of this, which has value in itself. Like it was definitely a steer in a different direction from what it was in the previous years. But he played, because he was such a big figure, he played such a big hand in bringing entertainment back, and I think he was the right person to um that we chose to make the star at the time. I think you're absolutely right.
Absolutely. And when you look at, guys like, Blake Shelton and Aldine, they all have their own ways of entertaining, and they were in the same group as Luke and even Florida Georgia Line. But I don't think any of them had that aura of
Mm.
a presence. Luke, I don't think Luke ever needed the lights. I don't think he ever needed the big trucks on stage. I don't think he needed any of the pyro. Like, I think if he just stood up there with the guitar, he'd have the audience in his hands. And I don't think that was anything that anyone else could have done.
Yeah,
And he does that in Farm Tour too. Is he does a very stripped down kind of acoustic version of things with a piano or a guitar. And
beautiful.
I'm just mesmerized every time by how well he can entertain people.
Oh, I love that so much. Well, enough about Luke. I kind of want to talk about you. You moved to Nashville at 20 years old. I feel like that's a really big step, and you're managing social media. You're also in college. What do you study?
I'm studying business marketing, which
Uh-huh.
is very on brand with kind of social media stuff. So I think that taking the digital side of things that I already know and making it apply to business marketing would be really great.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you you're studying in Nashville, I'm assuming?
I'm studying on an online Arizona State University. Yeah.
Amazing. How cool is that? Oh, so you get to
Yeah,
live
I just
anywhere you
like
want.
online school so much. It's so flexible and so easy to just
Yeah.
navigate. And
Oh,
it like able to have a life outside of school and just
yeah.
do things at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good to hear. Um, so you kind of want to move, I'm sensing that you kind of want to move forward in this business marketing, social media direction. You mentioned to me that you wanted to explore like doing social media for country artists. How cool is that?
Yeah. So I haven't necessarily reached out to a lot of people so far, but I think it would be really fun to take what I've done with the Luke Bryan account, showcasing an artist's personality and building a fan base around it for other upcoming artists. And there are some artists that I'm kind of looking at, and they've certainly got the personality for it, and I'd be really excited to work with them. But I think that's kind of what I've talked to people in the industry out here, and that's really what differentiates me from other social media managers. And I'm trying to like build a fan base, and others are really just trying to keep a fan base going per se.
Gotcha.
But then
Yeah.
also like so many managers are trying to just promote the music that they're forgetting about the artist and who exactly the artist is. and what the artist wants to be portrayed as a personality. And so that's really important to me is I think that streams will come along with people just loving who the artist is. And I really want to
Absolutely.
bring that to Nashville and make it more of a big thing.
Yeah, oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, having a connection between the artist's personality and the fans is the foundation. You're right. The sales will come afterwards because I feel like the people I'm the biggest fans of, I love them for who they are and their music. You know what I mean? If you could pick like Big Sky Dreaming, Dead or Alive, one country artist besides Luke to make it a little more interesting, would you pick if you had to like slot into as their social media manager right now?
Right now, oh man, I think I'd have a ball with Elvis. I think I'd have a
Oh,
really fun time with Elvis. I mean, Luke really is kind of Elvis in a way too. So I think I could just slide right in pretty easily. Um,
yeah, absolutely.
but if it had to be alive, I'm not really sure. Like I would just say Luke.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's okay. Well,
Maybe I'll go with Megan Moroney. I like Megan.
yeah, and she's fun like that too. Like she has such personality
Oh, she
in
does. Yeah.
so absolutely. Oh, that is so good. Um, right. Well, if we're on the kind of path of like of dreaming, if you had like a dream collaboration for Luke to do with another artist that he hasn't done before, do you know who you'd pick?
I would pick Lionel Richie. I would
Yeah.
pick Lionel Richie and they do some like R&B country mix cover songs, like something really slow and like
Yeah.
moody. Show off Luke's vocals.
That would be
Um,
so cool.
yeah, because I mean Luke is such a Lionel fan, and I mean obviously I am too.
Mm.
And like you go back into Luke's files and he's just singing Lionel Richie songs like all the time.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even care if the audience knows the song or not. He's just covering Lionel because he loves Lionel. And now he's with Lionel on Idol. Makes
Yes.
sense. Do a little collab. Throw
Yeah.
Carrie in there too. Why not?
Why not? Little Ariana. Oh wait, no, that's not. No, that's the voice. Oh, I almost said Ariana Grande. No, that's the voice. Oh,
It's
just
Carrie, Luke, and Lionel. Carrie Underwood. They're on Idol right now. Yeah.
what a lineup. That is so exciting. All right. Well, like I said before, I'm going to be in Nashville soon. I want to know what is your go-to Nashville spot?
Oh, go to it. I mean, probably Luke's,
Of course.
but I am biased because he's Luke, and also I'm not 21, so I can't go anywhere really yet. So
Yeah.
I can't go to all the cool places quite yet. Like we're 15 days away. So I'll
Oh,
go.
your early
Luke's
birthday.
actually has really great food. Like people
Yeah.
complain about Broadway food. Luke's is phenomenal.
Um,
Phenomenal. Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm gonna have to. I didn't last time I was there. I did not try the food. I was kind of like in and out, but I'll have to try the food. I'll let you know how it goes.
I'll try food.
Good. Do you have like a viral idea that you're cooking right now that you're really excited for?
So I, I'm kind of trying to reinvent some things going on. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I am trying to figure out how I can collaborate with Luke Bryan or become an influencer of sorts for a Luke Bryan concert.
Mm,
That's still, very far away. But I would say that's kind of the next step is trying to get affiliated with his team. Um, but as far as content, all of my posts, I'm not somebody who can make a post a week in advance, days in advance, even. Like everything is just day of, like
yeah.
everything. And so I can't think that far ahead when it comes to, you know, making edits. It's just like, it'd be cool as this. And so
Yeah.
much of it has to do with trends and what sounds are trending on TikTok and all of that and like who's trending. Like maybe I do something on Taylor Swift and Travis and try to include that, into
Yeah.
Luke Bryan somehow to get traction. Um, but yeah, I can't really say because it just all just comes like that.
Yeah. totally resonate with a little bit of that as well. Once I get all my videos edited, I'm like, okay, they go now. And I like they're just out immediately. But I
Yeah.
love the idea of being like a specific influencer for Luke Bryan's concert. I don't think it is an unrealistic goal at all. I think you could totally do something like that. I think that'd be
I
really
think that
fun.
I think it could happen. I know that they do it with influencers, and I'm like, why not? I mean, I have Luke Bryan's audience here in the palm of my
Exactly.
hand. I'll just give
Exactly.
them to you, and you just give me some tickets.
Exactly.
Um, I think
Hey,
it could be
Luke,
a great
Luke Bryan.
success.
Yes, Luke Bryan team, if you're listening for some reason, hey, I know a girl. No.
Yeah, got you.
All
Yeah, I
right.
would love a way to like know how many tickets I've sold with my videos though. Like I think that would be fun
Or maybe
to
even
like
like a discount code or something. Like
yeah, something
yeah,
like that. I don't know.
one day, absolutely. Well, speaking of your Instagram account, can you tell the people where they can follow you?
They can follow me on Luke Bryan Nation. Username is the Luke Bryan Nation on everything because Luke Bryan Nation was taken by somebody else. But that's where
Asshole.
you can follow me. My personal is Malia Francis, Maleah Francis with an ES at the end.
All right, amazing. Well, it was so cool to hear about how you got started and your story and all the amazing opportunities that have come from you building this community and all the success that's come from it. I'm really grateful that you are on the podcast now and giving me your time to be able to go through all of this and sharing it with the audience. Is there any last words that you have for the Cowboy Cut fans?
Just country on. Keep on
Yeah,
listening. Country on, baby. Yeah. Just
absolutely.
keep being unhinged. Have fun.
Drink a margarita, follow
Yeah.
your dream.
What would Luke Bryan do? And do the opposite.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, if you want to live a little longer, I would go with those.
Yeah, do the opposite.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. I had so much fun, and I'll see you in Nashville. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.